I'm Kevin Gelsizer. I'm with the Office of Veteran Services at St. Joseph's University. And here at the Office of Veteran Services at St. Joseph's University, we work to provide veteran entrepreneurs with tools for their success. In light of the ongoing pandemic and its impact on the business climate, we're speaking with veteran small business owners to learn how they're dealing with the situation. Today's guest is Gianna Van Nice, and she is the co-owner with her husband of Blue Dog Farms in Pennsylvania. And I'll just kind of pass it to Gianna to kind of introduce maybe herself a little bit and Blue Dog Farms and kind of find out their story and how they're how they're kind of transitioning to this during this stressful time. So, Gianna.
Thank you, Kevin. So I'm Gianna Van Nice, and we own Blue Dog Farms. It's in New Freedom, Pennsylvania, and we raise the best grass-fed and grass-finished beef and pasture-raised poultry. At least we think so. My experience as a veteran, I'm a veteran of the United States Navy, and it didn't necessarily influence me being a farmer. That really came from the man that I was fortunate enough to marry and growing up in an agricultural community. So how this coronavirus and the pandemic has really impacted our business and us as farmers and me as a veteran, I think is, we've been really kind of surprised by just the concern and the panic around food. And especially, at the very beginning, Kevin, people were going to grocery stores and finding empty shelves. And I think there was just this panic about, will there be enough food for us? And we feel like that has really led us to expand kind of our vision and what we believe we're here doing, to be more about connecting people with the farmers who grow their food. And that's been a big influence on all of our business choices and everything we're trying to do to support our community during this time of need.
Thank you for that. So how has the coronavirus specifically impacted your business, and have you had to pivot your activity in this new environment? I know you have kids at home and a really large, beautiful family. So maybe tell me a little bit about that, the realities of that.
Yeah, sure. So, I think everybody's been impacted. We're all working from home. I'm still doing my day job at home. We're still farming full time. We just do it with more children in tow. We have 5 kids. So I think that's been a big impact and also a huge blessing to us as a family to be able to have that time to work and be together. We also have pivoted a little bit because there was such a run on our online store for our food. So we kind of had to pull back from that and really go out to our customers and, share our heart to help everybody and ask them to limit their quantities and what they purchase. We're a small family farm. So, if someone swoops in the online store and buys 100 pounds of ground beef, that's it. So, we were really, being very open and honest and accessible, to our community, but really had to start to look at how we limit things, which was a unique challenge for a small family farm, for sure.
Did your traditional customers kind of understand the situation, or did you have to really kind of do a little bit of hand-holding through the process?
I think, Kevin, people have been just so wonderful during this time. I think when we shared that, we actually posted a video about it. And when we shared that, and we shared some of the challenges we've had with people contacting us and not able to get food. Somebody who's undergoing cancer treatments, and the only thing that doesn't taste like metal is chicken, and there's no chicken in the store, but we have chicken, right? Or, somebody who's recently out of the hospital and is shut in to their house and can't get the fresh stuff that they would normally get. And so when we brought that up to our community, they really embraced it. We actually got a few donations because we've been giving away food. I think it was a really beautiful moment that we saw our farming community kind of band together, the people who are normal customers band together to really help others in need.
That's nice. So how's your military experience shaped or prepared you to respond to these conditions?
Yeah. So, I was thinking about this the other day, actually, that, so I spent my time in the Navy. I was actually deployed in Darwin, Australia on September 11th, 2001. And that changed everything for everybody, very similar to, I think, what this pandemic is doing to our world now. But during that time, it was a huge crisis. It was get back underway, get on station, and be at war. And I feel like those kind of experiences in the military give veterans the ability to see things through a more calming lens. So we're able to express things in a calmer way. We're able to take in the crisis, work through it, help others get through it. And I feel like that's been a big mission for me personally with the farm over the last few weeks, is calming people down in terms of, we're out here working every day. There's going to be plenty of food. There's going to be plenty of beef and plenty of chicken from Blue Dog Farms for our community and the people we serve. And we're not going to stop because of the virus. We're working every day to do this, and we're here for you. And if you're in need, you can contact me, and I think that's something that the military and the Navy, in my specific case, that's a gift from that service to me in my life, in every aspect of my life.
Oh, thank you for that. So how's your membership with PA Preferred and Homegrown by Heroes helped for your business?
Yeah, they're both wonderful programs. We love them. We've been members with them as long as we've had the farm. PA Preferred is just great because I think consumers in general, they want to buy local. That's kind of the thing. They want to see that things are sourced locally and grown locally. And PA Preferred is a great branding for that. For us, for the farm, I think it's extremely helpful. Put the stickers on, and use that branding on our products. Homegrown by Heroes, I think, is the same. I wouldn't call myself a hero, but I do think it's just a great branding tool. I think folks want to support veterans, and they want to support veteran-owned business. I know as a consumer myself, I'm looking for those things. I'm looking for the local things. I'm looking to support local veterans. And so I think that those labels and those programs are just fantastic for being able to do that.
Oh, thank you. Will your experience adapting to this unusual environment cause any enduring impact or change the way you see yourself doing business in the post-pandemic business climate?
Yeah, so I think that we've learned a lot during this time. We're definitely ramping up during this time because we see that there's more need, and we see as we're connecting with more people, we're going to be doing more education. So, kind of thinking more creatively about how do you educate people, consumers, about where their food comes from? Because I think that's really important. I think we've grown disconnected from where our food is grown. And so connecting those people back to the farmers is really important to us. So I think that, how we've adapted with this, we've done a lot. We used to do open houses, for example, right, where we would invite people to the farm. We would say, come to the farm. We'll pull out a bunch of cuts of beef. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about how to cook them. We'll talk about what you get when you order a quarter or half, and what's unique about those different kinds of cuts. We can't do that now. So we're doing it via video, or we're doing it on the phone, or we're doing it by providing some infographics. So I think some of those things that we've incorporated, those are just going to continue to happen. We've started a YouTube channel, which I think some of those things are kind of fun. And I think will help even after this pandemic is over in moving our mission forward, which is, to connect people to the farmers who are growing their food.
Right. Do you see a local ecosystem really kind of growing? Because I notice it's with my siblings and our friends, and then younger family members. It's funny how they've kind of moved away from the older generations, where older generations just kind of wanted to get their produce or their food products, just kind of from, a good quality source, but it was relatively cheap and easy. But I see the younger generations now really kind of embracing localism in all of its forms, in food production, in construction, in so many, architecture. Do you see that in your community? And how have you seen that evolve over the past few years?
Yeah, I do see that, Kevin. I think it's an interesting thing that's happening. And I think maybe from the food aspect in the food industry, I think that part of it comes from a desire to be more healthy, right? And a desire to know what goes into your body and what you're eating. And so we have seen our population of customers is younger, and they really are disconnected from their food. They think, they're confused by the color of eggs, right? For example, so we have eggs that are blue and eggs that are green and brown, and they had no idea there were blue and green eggs outside of Easter. So I think it's interesting, and I think it's an educational opportunity, and I think it's fantastic. We've had some people through this pandemic who've approached us and said, "We want to raise our own meat chickens. Will you teach us?"
Oh, wow.
And yes, we will. We will teach you, because it's not something that I believe everybody should be able to raise their own food if they needed to. So, we've been spending some time on Zoom calls, on Google Hangouts or whatever, just answering questions and helping people get started with, 3 or 4 meat birds. And I think that's, that comes from being worried during this pandemic about where your food's going to come from and wanting to be more sustainable. And, a lot of that is sort of a younger families that are doing that and are interested in that.
Oh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. So do you have any takeaways that you've learned from navigating this process that you could share with other vetrepreneurs?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one thing that's really interesting with veterans, especially as they're getting out of active duty service and trying to transition, is I feel that they don't give themselves enough credit for the transferable skills that they do have. Veterans bring just a wealth of skills that sometimes we don't have the words to describe in civilian speak, if you will. And so, there's lots of resources out there for veterans who are transitioning in terms of, transition assistance and that sort of thing. But even with that, I think my biggest piece of advice for veteran entrepreneurs to not sell yourself short, like some of the stuff that's difficult to articulate, like being cool under pressure, or being able to focus, have a mission and like creatively solve problems to get you to that point. Those kind of skills are not things that can be, they shouldn't be undervalued. They're fantastic. So, and I think that's one of the biggest strengths that a veteran brings in any entrepreneur kind of endeavor.
Great. Well, maybe you could tell some of our viewers like how they can find your farm, and kind of, again, maybe talk about some of the resources you have for the public and how they can maybe get in touch and visit when this whole thing is over.
Yeah, absolutely. So we always welcome visits to the farm. We ask that they're by appointment. We're pretty small, so we're always working. I get asked a lot if we have a store, open 9 to 5. No, because we just farm all the time. So in general, we're online. So our Facebook page is very active, and it's one of those fun places you can go. We have funny memes, but we also post a lot of videos about what we're doing, and you can kind of follow us along while we're working. And you just put in Blue Dog Farms in Facebook and we pop up. We're also on the internet. You can just go to our website, www.bluedogfarmspa.net. And you can check us out on YouTube, which we've just started, which is super fun. We have a lot of content on there that's animal related, and a lot of content that's more, oh no, this is broke again on the farm, because something's always broke on the farm, and what we're doing to fix it, or what we're doing to mitigate, some of the challenges that happen just from living on a farm. And we also do a lot of stuff on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on all the social media. So you can always follow along and see what we're doing. Really exciting stuff this summer that we're doing. We added goats to our herd.
Oh.
So they're providing a lot of entertainment. And then we also added laying hens to follow the cattle about 3 days behind, to act as a natural harrow for us and really make the farm more sustainable. So you can follow along and watch all those stories and laugh along with us.
Well, thank you for your time and sharing your experiences with us. I know this is a challenging time, but you've been really encouraging, giving our viewers a lot to think about, and just a general sense of encouragement. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, Kevin. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Great. Have a wonderful day.
You too.